Don't encourage my friends to jump into rivers. You're lucky you didn't jump.
He's a grown man, he'll be fine. The video's ready.
Grown men die all the time in water. What are you talking about? Babies actually probably swim better than fucking...
The weak ones do.
You saying Joseph's strong enough to swim?
I'm not saying anything. I'm saying the man wanted to live his dream. That's all I'm saying.
If your dream was to jump off a building with no safety gear, should I say go for it, Saj? Jump off that building.
You should say, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, live long and prosper.
Jump off the building?
I don't know how long I'll live.
Well, it depends on the height of the building, I guess.
Yeah, but, I don't know.
Well, that would be... Do you not think that's being a bad friend?
Not necessarily. Shit, if I want to go downtown and get an 8 ball of crack and smoke it, shit, man. Live your life. It's your life.
What is wrong with you? What are you even saying right now? Where's your logic? I'm so confused. Maybe we should do a podcast on this topic. Friends being friends. What classifies as being a friend? Maybe that should be one of the topics.
Shit, if man them from Brixton are pressuring you, I go down there, slap 2 of them up, and they're not doing 45 years, am I a good friend?
That's not the conversation. I don't know. I haven't thought that one through. But that's not the conversation. The conversation is, if someone's trying to cause bodily harm as a friend, do you prevent it or do you allow it to continue?
So if I said my girlfriend was a sadomasochist that likes beating me and punching me and ripping up my ball bags during sex,
yeah,
and she's hurting me,
yeah,
but she's my girlfriend and she likes it.
Is
that an issue then? No.
You love to do this. What?
No, shut up.
That's the intro. Fuck it. That is the conversation. That is the intro. Roll the clip. Are you fucking kidding me? We're on it. You're a fucking idiot. We're using that, by the way. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
They're not gonna get the reference. That's fine. They're not.
Yo, people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for the Chelsea versus Liverpool preview. Now, before I even go into it, you know my prediction. I did it on Big Six. I predicted a Liverpool 2-1 win. I'm not confident. I think all of the stuff we've been talking about in the last couple of days, plus the injuries, and just the fact that Liverpool are a very good team, it's just not going into our hands in terms of, in my head. I'm just not calculating that this is going to be a good day. But getting that all out the way, let's talk about it. Let's flesh it out and let's talk about the game coming up. Obviously, the overlying massive point that is Lukaku is the big headline news going into this game. Will he or will he not start? Now, let's talk about the pros and cons for him starting and him not starting. I'm not going to do a lineup because, again, at this point, people are just dropping down with injuries and coming back, and it's all about Tuchel and what his medical team decide is right in terms of conditioning for Thiago Silva and players like that. So it's just pointless doing lineups right now in this disease-ridden market. But let's talk about Lukaku. Pros and cons. Now, the cons of him not starting, or the cons of dropping him and doing the really, defining brutal treatment that a Pep or an Arteta after some time, but I prefer to use the Pep example because I think he's a lot more definitive and decisive with his decision-making with players. And he's shown that with Sané. He's shown that with now Torres. It's sad, but the reason why we might not be able to do that and drop him is because we're in a weak position with Lukaku. He's just signed. He's 100 million. He's not going anywhere in January. And he knows that. So, and we need him. He's not Torres. Torres was a really good player. I really liked him, but he wasn't the be-all and end-all of Man City. He literally wasn't. He was just another guy that they could slot in and he'll do well, or they'll bring someone else in, they'll do well. But for Lukaku, he's meant to be the guy that we put our hopes and faith into for the spearhead of our attack going forward into the next few years, regardless of his comments. And the only way for that to change is to get rid and to move him on. But even if that was the case, he wouldn't be going anywhere until the summer. Realistically, he wouldn't be going anywhere until then. So we still need him for the rest of the campaign. We still need to compete. And this is a huge game against Liverpool. And that's the cons for him not starting. It just makes our team worse. He's been in good form the last couple of games. He's officially taken the Man of the Match award in the last 2 games with a goal against Aston Villa and winning a penalty. And then obviously the goal against Brighton. So in form, working hard on the pitch, showing the right attitude on the pitch. I'm going to put that in quotations, on the pitch. And in normal circumstances, this wouldn't even be a conversation. So, of course, there are cons to him not starting in that. And also, Tuchel, as we talk about this Pep situation, dropping players or selling players, Pep's got the power. Let's keep it a buck. Pep has the power. Klopp has the power. These guys at their football clubs have been there for a long time now. Their boards and their directors and their players understand the value of their managers that are at the helm, understand that they would not be as good without their managers, and therefore their managers call the shots and they have that power to make their own decisions and not be at risk of the sack. Tuchel doesn't have that. I think Tuchel should have that in the coming years, and we should be growing towards that point. But unfortunately at Chelsea Football Club, it just doesn't work that way traditionally. Managers don't have the power. They can be sacked at any given moment, and Tuchel will know this, and he knew this coming in. That's why he spoke about it as a risky job to take, but it's a job I'm going to take. And because he doesn't have that power, he is going to risk his own job by trying to be definitive, by trying to be decisive, by trying to set a precedent. All of those things which I actually would love us to be able to do. I spoke about it, many a time before in the last couple of days about consistency with conduct. But he may not be able to take it to that level of dropping him at fear of his own job. You might have to be a bit more, bit more cute and clever with it. Maybe play him, fine him. But then at the end of the season, maybe if you really wish to get rid, then you go down that route if you want to set that bar. But in terms of playing games, can't really afford to make this story a bigger story, which is what it will do. That's the other con. If you drop him, it becomes a bigger story. It becomes a headline. The media run with it. They ask pre-match and post-match questions. Why didn't you play Lukaku? Especially if we don't win the game. Why didn't you play Lukaku? He's scoring goals. He's back. Now you've lost the game. Why didn't you play Lukaku? These questions come. And yes, we know it will be for discipline, but at the end of the day, we will be losing points. And this is a very definitive game. This is the other and last con. It's Liverpool. This is a game where you need everybody on the right page, everybody pulling in the right direction. This is not a game, and I'm not going to mention teams because we've dropped points to smaller teams, but it's not a game where you can rotate. It's not a game where you can, set an example, kind of. This is kind of the wrong game for that. This is one of the best teams in the league, and you need to be at your very best to even stand a chance. So it's a problem. It's a problem in that aspect. Now, obviously, the pros of playing him are clear. He is in good form. He did that interview 3 weeks ago. Since that interview, he has been playing well when he came back into the team. So clearly on the pitch, it hasn't affected him. But we'll see if it affects him now that it's all public and out in the limelight. That's a whole different ball game. But as he did the interview, knew it was done, didn't tell anybody about it, and then played some games, it was looking like he was still confident, scoring goals in the last couple of games, working hard, which is really important as well, tracking back, doing his business, and linking up the play and bringing those traits and different abilities that he's talking about onto the pitch in this system. Again, very ironic. So that is the pro, is that he's on form. We need him to play the game in normal circumstances, and Liverpool's a very difficult team to play. Now, of course, go for it.
2 follow-up questions. Based on, remember, we were in the spaces yesterday. Question 1. How do you think Liverpool are going to react to playing poorly midweek? Mane and Sané.
They're going to react in the most aggressive, reactive way possible, which is to try and win this game and collect the 3 points. Liverpool fans have been saying this, and, we've probably been saying this. If Liverpool don't win this game and we take points off them, title race is probably done. Because you guys have just beaten Arsenal. Man City have just beaten Arsenal last minute. You're telling me that you didn't even deserve to win that game. But again, in a title season, you get those games. Man City deserve to win 90% or 99% of their games. So if you win one where you didn't deserve to win, it's natural. But the fact that you then actually won the game, again, I know the refereeing decisions, penalty, whatever the hell you want to say, 10 men, haven't seen it yet. Okay. But it doesn't matter about all those little, all those moments. We can talk about how unfair it is for Arsenal, whatever. At the end of the day, Man City won the game, and they continue to keep winning their games. And that means Liverpool have to win this game. We have to win this game, but Liverpool even more so because, they're closer to City if they win this game than we are. Now, for that reason, they're going to come out all guns blazing. Liverpool are going to be fired up as fuck, and they're going to be drastically fueled up and by Klopp and ready to go in this game. And they have a decent record against us in recent years as well. I think they beat us here last season. Henderson slapped in a curler a couple of years ago as well. Yeah. So Liverpool are going to bounce back, and Chelsea are in a weird state right now where another pro or con.
I was about to hit them.
Go on.
Another pro or con based on what I was listening to in the stream. So people were saying the interview really didn't matter that much, and as long as Lukaku starts slapping in goals, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But now my question, so if you win tomorrow, everything might pipe down.
Yeah.
But now it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
If you lose tomorrow,
then it's a problem. But
I feel like everyone's just going to use that interview as the scapegoat for why you lost.
100% media-wise, fan-wise. But the pro here is that Lukaku gets the opportunity And he should be more than fired up to try and get the fans back on side who could be booing him. I don't agree with booing him because I think he's counterproductive, but they could be booing him. And I wouldn't tell anyone off if they did. You know, that's your own prerogative. I don't think it's a great idea, but you do as you do. Lukaku's got more than enough motivation to score in this game and to prove the fans, you know, not even prove the fans wrong, we're right, but to apologize to the fans. The best way to apologize is actions speak louder than words. And especially when it's Lukaku's words at the moment, your words don't mean much. So you better speak with your feet and you better score. That is the only option for Lukaku right now, is to be in form. And the best way for him to be in form is to continue playing, which is what he did in the midweek and the game before, continue that momentum and to score. So that's the other pro, is that Lukaku coming into this game should be very motivated. Now the con, and you spoke about it, and people don't think about these little real world situations with the players. They are human. Are they looking at him differently? Are they looking at him funky? After listening to all of this, Tuchel's press conference, you know, again, you know, little moments can, yes, everybody wants to stay professional, everyone plays for the team, but in, you know, private conversation, in group chats, yo, that Lukaku guy, he's bugging out. What's going on there?
That's the main striker, right?
That's the main striker. That's the guy that we're trying to adapt our game for.
Rudiger going, Chris, I was going to resign, you know, I was thinking about it, but it's the world-class striker and you don't want to be here. Should I?
So those, that's unsettling the team, and that's without the media, and that's without the fans. I'm just talking about player to player.
No one really thinks about that.
Respect to respect for the guys that are fully dedicated to Chelsea. And I'm not saying, if Inter Milan gave me a new contract, I would have stayed there.
I'm talking interpersonal relationships.
Yes. That.
Do you remember a couple of years ago, the Benzema,
Vinicius, facts, 100%.
Benzema didn't believe that
Vinicius could hear him.
For the club.
Well, yeah, he said he wasn't good enough. He was shit, and
he didn't believe, and he's telling teammates,
yeah,
don't pass to him.
That there just reinforms and restates that, yes, these are humans. They do have private conversations without the journalist quoting them, and they do have opinions on each other, just as you would in any workplace. So if you're sitting there at home thinking, the players don't care if Lukaku said he would never have joined if Inter Milan gave him a new contract, you're bugging. Now, I don't want to talk about Lukaku for the whole show, but those are the pros and cons. You let me know in the comments. Another massive thing is Reece James. Reece James is out. It hasn't got as much airtime as it should have on this channel, and I apologize, but Reece James is out. We are going to be speaking with journalists in the coming weeks about replacements at right wing back. I've seen us linked with Trippier. I haven't developed an opinion on who we should bring in yet because I just simply wasn't expecting to have to deal with this situation mentally. I've already got left wing back to worry about, but Reece James is out. Azpilicueta and Alonso are likely to start in this game, and that means we've got two pretty slow or gassy wing-backs against Mane and Salah. And that's another reason why I'm not confident going into this game whatsoever. The midfield battle, listen, I think our midfielders are fit to my knowledge. Kova, Kante, Jorginho. Jorginho's been carrying something, so it's probably best that he doesn't start this game. And it's probably best that we go with a mobile, you know, more pacey midfield with Mason Mount, Kante and Kova, and not Jorginho, who's carrying something and isn't the quickest when we've got two very slow wing-backs as well who will need covering. The centre-backs are the centre-backs. You know, Christensen is looking iffy right now in terms of a contract situation. Rudiger the same. Azpilicueta the same. We won't get into that on this show, but we're going to have to rely on them to remain professional. And the forward line at this point, if it is Lukaku or not, you decide in the comments. I'm personally backing whatever Tuchel decides with that disciplinary action. And that's the opinion I'm going to hold. Whatever Tuchel feels is right for his security of his job and what he feels is right for the team, he will go with, and I will back it 100%. If he doesn't feel like he has the power to drop him, I won't blame Tuchel, and I don't think rival fans should come storming in here saying, Tuchel's fumbling the bag, you're not as strong-minded as Pep, you're not as strong-minded as Klopp. Different situations. One's in their first season, one has been there for 5, 6, 7 years. So yeah, we're not going to get into the whole defender debacle. We know we need to rely upon very, you know, iffy situations there with defenders running out of contract, their headspace being all over the place. I don't know, but we know we need to rely upon that. And going forward, like I said, it's up to Tuchel. And whoever plays either side of him, Mason Mount, one of them for me, and then the other winger, I am personally going to tell you, we don't care. We don't care. Like, for real, I really don't care anymore. Everybody's inconsistent. And I just, there's so many other things that are going on at a football club. It's really not relevant to me at this point. Anyone can do well. Anyone can do poorly. So that's the situation. I don't know about Liverpool's situation with their cases. It's an ongoing thing. It's daily at this point. Anything can prop up. Anything can throw off there. But I'll end with this note. Chelsea have been trying to get the game called off. Apparently, I don't think it will be called off. And to be honest, if they weren't going to call off Wolves, why call off this now? I'm not confident. I'm not going to give you my prediction again because it is a defeat. But I hope we win. It would be great if we did. Some camaraderie, some togetherness, some respite for Tuchel. We'll see what happens. You let me know your team in the comments below. You let me know if you believe Lukaku should start the game. And you let me know who the hell we're going to buy at right wing back now that our first choice right wing back is out for 3 months. I've left you a lot to do there. Pick and choose as you wish. I'll be debating with you in the comments. In a bit, people. Peace.